It was cold enough that I could see my breath in the air. I wrapped my scarf around my neck again and again before stepping out into the cold night. My mom was too tired to stop me. She had finally returned home from her second job at some time past 9. I'd prepared some food for her. All I had on hand was mac and cheese. She gave herself a bowl of it and a glass of wine. She sat on the couch and fell asleep watching House Hunters. My sister was upstairs. She ignored me most of the time when she could. I was 5 years older than her, so we didn't really connect on a lot of things. My mother's little sister would annoy her all the time when she was growing up. I wish I had even that with Jess. But she doesn't care for me. She took her dinner and left to her room. No one would stop me from leaving the house. Lakeside was a nice town. It had a small tourism base. The occasional party from out of town would use it as a wedding destination or weekend getaway and move on. Lakeside's actual lake was artificial, man-made sometime in the late 1800s or something. I never really cared to pay attention to that. I just wanted to leave this damn town. But Mom needs someone to keep her head above water. My sister needs someone who will be there for her when she needs it. I shoved my hand in my pocket. It stung in the cold. I walked for a long time. Without gloves, it hurt to use my flashlight. No earmuffs, no hat. I just put on a coat and a scarf. I took off into the night. I don't know why. I don't really have a reason. No one would stop me. The forest in winter is a beautiful place at night. The soft snow blanketed the ground, hiding the gnarled roots and twisted corpses of small wildlife that didn't make it in time for winter. I wondered what else lay beneath the snow and dirt. The years of winter could cover up anything. I was halfway into the forest when I remembered why I was here. I was going to meet with him again. I felt something pulse through the woods. The heart of the forest was full of briar and bramble. They cut on my clothing and sliced my skin. The twigs snapped under my feet. The bark was rough on my hands when I pushed the branches out of the way. They were cut, nicked, and I could barely move a finger in the cold. But I held the light and moved onward, deeper into the forest. The heart of the forest was an empty glade, sans the old oak tree in the middle of the open area. I could only imagine what was hidden under the snow here. This was our meeting spot. It was the only time he could be near Lakeside without being seen. I looked to the sky and saw a full moon overhead. Midnight. The forest groaned and shook as he approached, as if telling me to run, flee, get away from this horrid wretch. His long, pale limb entered the clearing. His skin looked soft, like the skin of a drowned child. His appendage split at the forearm, leaving 3 stretched fingers on each hand as they grasped at the snow. His other arm held tight on one of the tallest trees. It was whole. It seemed as though it was subconsciously choking the tree. His head was pale, smooth, and devoid of most facial features. It was a white canvas beside 2 dark splotches of uneven paint. His eyes were blacker than black and darker than an empty sky. The smile slowly cut across his face. Jagged teeth formed from the fresh gash. Black sludge dripped down his bulbous chin. I felt something stir within me. Something I hadn't felt since I was a child. A feeling of joy. My friend was here. He the only one who cared. I ran to him. My hands didn't feel cold. My legs were no longer pained to walk. I was reinvigorated. He lowered his head as I ran to him and wrapped my arms around his neck. He brought me up towards the sky. Together, we stared at the moon.